Plaintiff Ryan Moncrief says when he first started dating the defendant, she confessed that she was a former drug user, which Ryan didn't have a problem with because he was a recovering alcoholic. However, Ryan ended the relationship because he suspected the defendant was still using crystal meth, and he's suing her today for the cost of breaking the lease. Defendant Roxanne Monson insists she was done using drugs by the time she and Ryan started dating, and she admits he played a big part in keeping her clean. Roxanne claims there was a zero balance due to the apartment complex when they moved out, and she's countersuing Ryan for unpaid rent.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Well, sir, back in March of 2003, I met Roxanne in a bar. We had dated each other, courted each other for about a month and a half. Amongst us dating and getting to know each other, you know, we talked about many things. One of the things was drug use. And she had mentioned to me that she had tried speed before, but it wasn't something serious, wasn't a big issue, and so I didn't pay much attention to it.
What made her volunteer that information?
It was amongst other things, just talking, getting to know each other, and that was one of the things that had come up.
Did you confess to any previous drug
well,
use?
at the time, you know, yeah, that I am a recovering alcoholic and that I don't drink, yes.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was that...
You confessed to anything else?
No.
No? You didn't say, well, I had a girlfriend I used to cheat on?
Not that I know of, no.
You didn't tell her that?
No, I don't remember saying that, no.
Oh, okay. Did you ever cheat on your previous girlfriends?
Previous? Have
Yes.
I? Yes.
All right. You did cheat on your previous girlfriend.
I have, yes.
She told you about her drug problem, one of the most damaging pieces of information you can tell someone, but you withheld the information about cheating.
I felt that maybe my being a recovering alcoholic was fair enough as to a possible
You don't think
encounter
cheating
of a
was
drug
important
use.
to her? Watch this.
I don't know that came up.
Watch this. Watch this.
Yes, sir.
When you're dating a man and he has cheated on his former girlfriends, isn't it important that you know?
It is quite important.
Ah, okay.
It shows a...
Go ahead. So you deceived her.
Yes, sir, I guess.
Go ahead.
Well, then moving in with her in May, her behavior had changed. I work out of town Monday through Thursday, and when I'd come home, it'd see me, she'd question what I was doing, where I was going, if I was going to go anywhere. And one of the times that I came home, there was, you know, some friends over, some guys that I didn't recognize that looked to me like they could be, you know, meth users. I don't know for a fact.
Your Honor,
well,
that's not true.
So that's the type of speed she had admitted to, crystal meth?
It was meth. I've been told since then that speed and meth are both the same. I don't.
Not quite.
Okay.
You can have a certain type of speed without the mixture that involves crystal meth.
Okay.
So, just so you know,
Okay.
I'm an expert at these illegal drugs. I've known so many drug addicts all of my life, so.
So am I.
You're an expert as well? Come from the same neighborhood, I forgot. That's right.
That's all
So I
over.
always bring my partners from the old neighborhood with me.
Understand.
Doyle's one of them. So he knows all about drugs, too. All right, you want to respond with the background on this?
Yes, I met him in April of '03, and he moved things along very fast. Within the second time or third time of actually even seeing him, he brought his 2 children with him, and they're from 2 different mothers, and basically introduced me to them, and they clinged on to me as a mother figure, which I was very uncomfortable with. And then
You had a problem with having his children in the household that he shared with you?
yes, because he wanted the house to be
Good
in
enough.
a certain way.
Did you think that would affect your relationship?
No, because I figured
You
I would
did.
grow.
Yeah, you were smoking
No,
crystal meth.
No, I figured I would grow.
Let's move on, man. You're not high today, are you?
No. And actually, the drug issue was prior to me meeting.
Pardon me?
The drug issue was prior to me meeting him, and he actually was very helpful in making sure that I was away from the situation that I was in.
And you haven't had a relapse?
No.
Very good. Go ahead.
At the time that we started dating, I was looking for an apartment with a friend of mine, and both her and I were unemployed at the time. And we were just looking for an apartment that would accommodate our needs and our income. He wanted to have a large apartment that would accommodate his needs and his children and his belongings when he was out of town, and then so.
Did you agree to that?
Yes.
All right. Then what happened?
And things weren't working. He was very controlling. And there was a time when we were at the store that he embarrassed me in front of the entire store. We were in preparation of his children coming to the apartment for that weekend, and we were buying hot dogs, macaroni and cheese, things that kids eat, to stock my shelves. And when we got up to the cashier and she was ringing it up, he turned and looked at me, and I didn't have my purse on me. I had left it in the truck. And he made a huge embarrassing act in front of me that, why didn't you bring your purse? You know, why am I paying for this? It's, you know, for the apartment itself, things like that.
What else did he do?
There's other times that if I left like a vase on the coffee table, that's something that a child could possibly knock off and break and get hurt. And so he was very controlling about just things left out, you know, things that might injure his children. And
You didn't think he should have been?
yes, but I mean, overly, like a glass vase on the counter and things like that.
You didn't think that might
I didn't think
be
that they would
knocked
knock
over
it
by
over.
one of his children?
No, it was an 8-year-old daughter, and she's old enough, you know, and she's respectful enough not to be knocking things over. And so I wasn't allowed to have things out on counters.
What else?
And the main part is that we were unemployed, and so the entire lease was based upon his income, which I do have documents from the apartment complex
What was the
themselves.
agreement with regard to paying?
That we would all share a third because of my unemployment check and my friend's
You didn't
income.
pay your third?
I paid all of the rents. There was a few months I paid 100%. The first month we all split it in
So when you say
third.
you paid all of the rent,
All of my shares of the rent, including
Every
some
month?
others. Correct. I have a
All right.
ledger from the apartment complex.
All right, let's get to you. What else do you want to tell me before getting to the breaking of the lease?
Well, at the time, I was stating that I'd come home one time and she had some shady characters at the house. When I confronted her about them, she just couldn't give me a direct answer as to who they were, why they were there. So then it led me to believe that maybe she is doing meth again or speed. And also, sir, back to her meeting my kids, she has horses. My daughters love horses, and I thought, what a great idea as a father to have them, and she handles them well, so I thought, why not bring them over to meet her horses? She didn't convey any problem with it at that time. So back to
I didn't have an option.
when I had left. I felt at that time with the shady characters at the house, her behavior, that it was not in the best interest of my kids or myself to stay there. So I talked to Roxanne and I told her that I was going to give her 2 months rent and move out. And I have some paperwork for you here.
Did she agree to that?
Yeah, she did. She said that was not a problem and that she would find somebody.
Why are you suing her for $408?
The $408 also is for the breaking of the lease. And it was at $1,800, but they had called Roxanne Munson and then the other roommate. Both at that time had hung up on this collection agency and said they didn't want to deal with it. Then the agency came after me and
I've
said,
never talked to a collection
So
agency.
you were the only one sued for the breaking of the lease?
They came after those two and they didn't talk to them. So they came after me and said, if I want to keep it off my credit, to pay it.
Okay.
And it was at $1,700 and I negotiated it down to $1,000.
All right, and so the 408 is for her third?
Just her third, yes, sir, and the court fees that I had to file within the
All
county
right,
was
ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor. I have a ledger from the apartment showing that there was a zero balance at time of move out.
Let's
And-
see it.
Your Honor,
Yes.
within that paperwork you have on page 3 is a ledger showing the move-out costs, showing how they...
Show me the balance.
I don't know how they would have a different
you show
ledger,
me
'cause
the
this is facts
balance
straight from the apartment
because she
complex.
shows me her own balance on page 3 that says it's a zero. Your counterclaim $2,331 for rent. How does he owe you?
He did pay 2 months of rent for June and July. And so for August through March, the stipulation was that we had 3 people in a 2-bedroom apartment, and the
You're suing
agreement
for the remainder of the month,
for his third, yes.
right? And
I
he's
couldn't
saying you
reach-
let him off the lease, I believe.
No, we didn't.
He just moved out without telling anyone?
He told me he was moving, and the discussion included the fact that I could not replace his third of the rent because there wasn't a 3rd bedroom for a person to stay in.
It was 3 people, 2 bedrooms.
It was.
I agree. So the rent you are suing him for is from August through,
Through the end of February of 04.
All right.
And I have a breakdown for you.
let me have it, please.
Your Honor, on page 3 of that form that I gave you, it also shows that I made the 2 months rent payment that I told her I would give her.
Correct. That would be June and July, and that's why they're
Yes,
not
sir,
on
I'm
that.
looking at
on page two, I'm
page 3
sorry.
that says zero balance. though.
The page 2 is where it
Of his
showed.
ledger.
All right, let me show you what that represents. It says zero.
No balance due.
Thank you. All right, and the 2,331 is based on his share of how much per month?
$333.
Times how many months? 7 months?
7, correct.
All right, $2,331 is your judgment. I'll grant you that all 7 months, which is unusual. Usually you have a reasonable amount of time to get a replacement roommate, and that's usually about 3 months you would get
Correct.
paid for. However, in this case, as you said, you would be unable to get a third roommate with a 2-bedroom, and so he puts you in that hardship, and I'll grant you the judgment. With regard to your claim, sir, you kept telling me to look at page 3, and it said zero balance, and I had you read it also, and you concluded it was zero balance, so that's going to have to be your judgment. Zero. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You know, it happened 5 years ago, and it was in the past, and it's going to stay in the past.
And it
so
should have stayed in the
once,
past.
Once we leave here, I won't
$300
give it
wasn't
much
worth
of a
seeing him.
thought after that.